Good morning, traders. Gary Odom with TestedWisdom.com. This morning I was taking a look at some of the Forex pairs so I could kind of get an idea of what might be occurring in the near future. I call it forecasting the pairs using the SRT. We may talk some about the momentum indicator as well, but this morning I just kind of want to show you something I do. Nothing particular fancy about it. It's just a way that I get a handle on what I think pricing is going to do in the Forex, which gives me kind of a heads up on what to look for. To begin, my setup on the charts are very simple. I have a long chart, a middle chart, and a short chart. Times are not particularly important, but we need to cover a period of time that would show some long-term movement and some shorter-term movement. Mine happens to be 4 hour, 1 hour, 20 minutes. If one were technically correct, they'd want a 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute. That's exactly 4-to-1 ratio between the charts. But that's not important, not for what we're doing. Let's look at some pairs. What do we have here? We're looking at the US Canadian dollar, not one that I trade often. There are just other pairs I prefer trading. What we're seeing right now, we're seeing a consolidation right in this zone right here. It's basically a consolidation around 3 bearish zones, which is a little unusual. We have a bullish zone up above, and we have a bullish zone below, which is kind of strange. This is not a usual setup when we have this kind of consolidation here. So pricing is a little chaotic at this point. It was in a downtrend, and it took a retrace here, and that's probably why we're seeing that. It's probably nothing more than a normal retrace, and it will likely return to its downward move. We will know that when it penetrates the moving average and then this bullish zone here. We have the same thing on the short chart, moving average, bullish zone. When it does that, we can say that it is going back to a downtrend on this chart. The power settings up here still allow us room if it decides to go north because of the values. Or this is actually below the minimum, and this is well below the maximum, and this is still in a bear power move. So we have room that we could get a signal from the momentum indicator, the TWPT. Let's look at another one. Let's look at what is this? This is the US dollar yen. Well, I see the yen has been strong. Not something Japan likes. They like to see where it takes a little bit of dollar to buy a lot of yen. And it's the other way around. That way they can sell more goods. But anyway, what it's been in this downtrend. It's broken through this bullish zone here, which is indicative of continued action. It broke through here, but it came right back down. So we'll have to see whether the price is going to continue to respect this zone, and if it is, then we need to be alerted that that Japan is manipulating the market, because it has been strengthening in here, requiring fewer yen for more dollars. Remember that a bearish zone up above is on all 3 charts. More or less, not in the same place, but it's above this little swing that's going on, which would indicate that we would like to see it return to the downside. The trend is also that way. So the only thing we have going for us here is that if price stays above this bullish zone for any number of bars and actually breaks the moving average, we might be in line for a reversal here. A momentum indicator might peek out on us before we really want it to, and not allowing us a signal, but that remains to be seen. We're looking okay. We got, obviously this is still in bear power over here. That would have to turn over before we can expect a long-term upside run. Other than that, just wait and see. The pound dollar is in a mess. It really is. It had a down run, and it broke about the same time the euro broke. We'll see that later, which is like a week ago. It broke and started moving upward. It went right through this bearish zone like it wasn't there, and kept on up. It's still moving up. Some long retraces. It's a hesitant move up, I guess we could call it. And that's because price is caught in this consolidation here between this bearish and this bullish zone. We got the same thing here, except the zones are all over the map. Uh, Before we can make any prediction whatsoever, we need a little more of a semblance of order. Remember, we have to have order and pricing before we can expect a nice profitable trade. So why jump into a mess that's going to cause you grief? Patience. Patience is the call of the hour on this one. So we'll have to wait and see which direction price wants to take. Will it continue to respect this big bullish zone down below and cause actually a reversal in the previous price move, which was a downward move or strengthening of the dollar? Dollar's weakening here. Uh, or will this just be a temporary move and it will respect these bearish zones above and return to its previous path? So this is a wait and see proposition based on getting this mess straightened out on a short chart and giving us some direction. Remember, it occurs here first, then on the mid chart, then on a long chart. Can't happen any other way. That's just the way it works. Here's the euro dollar. Certainly not as messy as the pound is, but it did do the same thing. It broke here about a week ago, went up, broke through the bearish zone, but you see it had a bullish zone here that it needed to break, and it did not, and respected the bearish zone. So it looks like it's going to come back to a downward moving action. We have the same reflection here on the short chart. If it breaks this bullish zone, we're in business. We got really a whole lot better indicators on this chart than we had on the dollar pound, on the pound dollar rather. Uh, I think we're going to be back in business here. A stronger dollar as it breaks through. Less dollars for more yen, for more euros is what that means. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a short play on the euro dollar. All right. What about the Australian dollar? Well, the only thing I know good about the Australian dollar is they make Australian Dream, which is a great product. So, anyways, taking more US dollars now to buy the Australian dollar. As you can see here, the dollar is really weakening against the Australian dollar, and it is not. Hang on here. I can't seem to get it to do this because anyway, uh, I was just trying to roll that chart back, but I can't get my end. There it is. As you can see, it's pretty much been doing that all along. Yes, there's a lot of up and down movement in it, but if you go on and just take a look at the overall highs and lows, it's running in an uptrend. Now, will it get us a retrace at some point? Well, I'm sure it will. And we don't have an entry here anyway, and that's the unfortunate thing. That's saying, oh, it's moving up, I'd like to get in on this trip. Well, as you'll notice before, we had all this action up and back down and this sort of thing. Well, generally what happens when you see these large values like this, it's getting ready to make a major correction. You know, it can't run forever in one direction. It has to breathe. So whether you call it inhaling or exhaling, it's likely to change here, go back down, and then start firing up again. We'll have a lower bull power, and it'll start building up. But it is fading. You can see that it's fading in every case, regardless of how positive it looks there. It is fading on these shorter charts. It happens here before it happens here. So I'm not looking for a long on this. I'm looking for a wait and see, a correction, give me an opportunity for an entry. That's only pairs I'm going to cover today. There are several more down below, but I'm sure it'll be more of the same. The idea here was how to read the SRT, how to look at price, how to look at the TWPT to kind of get an indication of what you might want to do rather than looking at it as immediate trade. On some other videos, I'm going to be showing you how to use the TWPT to determine exits. I promised you somewhere, either in my literature or on the website or whatever, that you would learn what price action's all about. And that's part of the acquisition of the study, so that you can really learn price action and what it means and how it moves. Maybe you can start to see some of that as we talk about this and how price is in relation to the SRT when I point out certain price bars and just price action in general and where it came from and how it's moving. Maybe you can start to see that. Hopefully you do. In any case, that's all I have for you today, traders. Happy trading, the best of success to you, and have a good day.